Hey there. So once you're settled on your roller, be sure your head is supported and your tailbone as well. And then go ahead and lay back. You'll feel that you're heavy across the sacrum, the shoulder blades like curve around the roller so you can really feel your spine between them. And then feet are maybe slightly in front of your knees and about 4 to 5 inches apart so that you're in alignment with your hip joint. If you need a little bit more width through your legs in order to help your balance, you can take the feet wider. And you'll find that if you actually do need that, that'll probably happen naturally anyway. But another option here would be if you have a ball, you can take the ball between the inner thighs and gently squeeze it. And that will give you a little bit of work through the inside line of your thighs and help you connect to the inner edges of your feet. So you're really grounded through your feet and the ankles feel more supported. So from here, stretch the arms forward, reach the fingers towards the end of the mat. Lift the arms up a couple inches off the ground so they're parallel to your side seam, and then rotate the arms externally. We'll take the arms out to the side without shifting the shoulders. The blades stay where they are, and then rest the back of your hands on the ground. From here, rock a little bit side to side. So you're going to drape your body down on one side of the roller, hip and armpit, and then to the other side. This will push the shoulder blades a little sideways away from your spine. So as you go to the right, the left shoulder blade moves to the left. And vice versa, as you tip your body around the curve to the left of your roller, the right shoulder blade gets a little bit of a tractioning away from the spine. And you can go from side to side, gazes up and slightly forward. Feel that your neck is long, front, back, and side. As we do this, you can notice the stretch across your chest and your pecs, and also maybe a little stretch here in the upper arm, into the armpit, and across the front of the shoulder. There's also a weight shift in your feet, so just pay attention to that too as you go to one side. Where do the feet put extra weight? And how do they help you come back to center? And then we'll center ourselves on our rollers and curve the arms so you cup the palms like you're holding a ball, self flexion of the wrist and the elbow. Embrace the air right over your chest. And then exhale, pull the arms apart nice and slow. So using the full exhalation to let the arms lower gently to the ground, touch the floor with the back of your hands. And we inhale to come up, using the full inhalation to lift the arms. Maybe the fingertips touch, maybe they don't, but you want to feel you gather the air in right over your body, and then you exhale. As the air leaves your mouth, leaves your lungs, picture it going out into space and pushing the arms apart with that extra volume. And now inhale, arms rise, take your time, move slowly so you resist momentum. And on the way down, we're still moving slowly so you resist gravity. You're going to feel a little extra weight in the arms as you lower with this amount of control and that slow speed. Next, we'll lift the arms up. Embrace the air right above your chest, and then exhale, straighten the arms. We're going to inhale to lift the hands high, shrug the shoulders away from the roller. Arms are parallel to each other, parallel to the walls. And exhale, pull the blades down, smooth and slow. Feel the chest widen as the back narrows. As we lift the hands up, like you're trying to touch your fingertips to the ceiling above us, right? Feel the shoulders have curved up and forward. And then we're going to widen the collarbones so the blades sink down. So hug the ball here between your legs, or at least if you're not using the ball, feel that you're engaging into the inside edges of your feet, the inner heel, the big toe ball of the foot. Breathe out, so the belly is sinking as the blades sink down. One more. Arms rise on the inhale, the belly expands. So do the lungs, so the chest is expanding too. And then exhale as you let the air flow out of your body. The navel sinks down, the lungs start to empty, the ribs knit together, the shoulders are grounded, heavy. Now turn the palms forward and lengthen the arms long at your side. Reach out through your fingertips to ease the shoulders away from your ears. We'll lift the arms up to the ceiling, drawing an arc through the air. And you're coming up a rainbow with each hand, and then exhale, go down the rainbow to the other side. Keep your ribs grounded so that you're not additionally arching your waistline. And then let's lift the arms forward, weight in the shoulder blades, and exhale, sink the arms long at your side, stretch a little further than you did before. Arms stand parallel here, so they come up in unison. Each arm is a mirror image of the other. Exhale and let the arms yawn back. You'll feel the stretch in your waist, probably front, back, and side. And then bring the arms forward. Again, feel their weight. You're controlling the movement. You're trying to resist just falling to the ground. We gently land. And one more, arms lift in parallel. When they go to vertical, feel the blades sink a little bit down towards the floor. Then imagine the blades sliding towards your waist as the arms go back by your ears. If you're tight in the chest, the arms can go a little wider, so it feels comfortable in the shoulder and neck. Reversing the direction, the arms come up, and exhale. Let them slide forward, glide forward, and land gently on the mat. Okay, here we'll take both hands to your shoulders. So right hand to right, left hand to left. Circle the elbows in. We're drawing circles with the elbows in the air. The elbows go up, and then externally rotate the arms to take them out to the side, around, internally rotate them to bring them in close to the waist, and then lift again, sort of in parallel here. So there's a rotation that happens with the upper arm bone on the hip, on the hip socket, sorry, the shoulder socket. And then circle around. For every circle you draw, it's an inhale to begin and an exhale to complete the circle. When we're breathing like this, and sort of getting in touch with the body here, and in fact doing a little massage into your upper back and neck, we want to take a shorter inhale and a longer exhale so the nervous system starts to relax, so the breath gets deeper and deeper into our body, and the body calms down from whatever's happened so far today, this week, this year. One more breath. Short, deep inhale, long, slow exhale. And then we'll reverse, going down with the elbows in wide, up, around, and in, narrowing the elbows in before they come down parallel to your rib cage, parallel to the roller. Complete the circle and allow your shoulders to really shrug. Right, so here's the chance to mobilize the shoulder blades underneath you and get a nice deep tissue massage with the roller and the movement of your shoulder blades on top of it. One more circle, one more breath. Exhale completely, the belly pulls down, navel to spine, and then stretch the arms forward along at your side. Reaching out through your fingertips, keeping a straight wrist, we're going to lift both arms up to the ceiling and back by your ears. All that's an inhale. Exhale, arm circles wide. So reach out through your fingertips, spread the palm open, the arms cut through the air, drawing sort of snow angels here at your side, and turn the palms down at the end. Arms lift up and back on the inhalation. Your body yawns open to the ceiling, and then exhale, reach for the side walls. Try to show me the size of your wingspan. Bring your hands down by your side and rotate the palms down. We'll do two more like this, up and then back. And then exhale, steady through the feet, squeeze the ball if you have it between your legs, wrap in and connect to the inner edges of your feet while you're here. One more like this, up and back. And then exhale, circle wide and around. Your range should always feel comfortable for you, and it will gradually open up as you warm up. So here we go, turn the palms up, arms long at your side, and go out wide to the side, and then lift the arms as they go past the height of your shoulders. Exhale, reach your hands to the ceiling and press the arms down in parallel. We can do that again, circling out, around, and back. Exhale, breathe deeply. Arms push down, think of that as pushing the air out of your lungs. We circle again, so let this movement help the ribcage expand, the lungs expand. And exhale. Everything narrows in towards your central axis as the arms lower. One more, going around and back. And exhale, press forward and down. Right now, we'll bring the arms up to the ceiling, bend the elbows sideways, and take your thumbs together, your index fingers together, possibly the middle fingers together, or not. And then you lightly press the fingers into each other so you firm up the inside line of your arms. We'll take this shape and swing it back. You create a diamond. You take that diamond shape back to frame your face. And then exhale, lift it to the ceiling and then bring it forward. The shape of the arm stays the same. The angle and space changes. So inhale, we take it up and then back. Just stretch the waist, front, back, and side. So let the blades get a little heavier and slide towards your waistline. Reversing the direction as the arms go vertical, the blades sink to the ground. And then exhale, the arms lower here. Reach them forward, flip the hands over the low belly, over the pelvic girdle. One more. Up you go, and then back. Start to breathe again. Inhale, lift the arms up, and then exhale, empty the air out of your lungs. And we'll bring the arms down your side. So at this point, we're going to slide off the roller. And I'd like you to lay on your back. I need to get rid of my jacket. Now that my core is warming up. The breathing can do it. The movement can do it as you connect in from the extremities of your body in towards your center. It's also helpful that it's finally 40 degrees instead of 5. All right, so let's take the roller across your mat and we go under the tip of your shoulder blades. So it'll be near the base of your ribs. And we're going to sort of curl the tail up so the low back flattens a little bit. You can feel the sacrum into the mat. And then support your head with your hands, overlap your intertwined fingers. Now let's come up a little bit, pull the elbows down and in, get a little pleating here at the rib cage, right under the chest wall, and look down at your abs. This is flexion of the spine, and then we're going to bring the gaze across the room, up the wall towards the ceiling, and back. The elbows flare open and down to open up your chest. Your head is supported by your hands. You can even use your thumbs to the occipital ridge of the skull to create a little cradle for it so your neck can stretch more. If that feels fine, great. If not, less extreme angle for your neck. So we're going to pick the head up, look down your nose, use your hands to help lift the weight of the head. Pull the elbows down in, aim them for your navel, and curl the tail up to increase the rounding in the low back. And we arch back again. Moving from flexion into extension, and then back again. Inhale into extension, and lift your head, exhale into flexion. Notice that when we go back into extension, the front of the body lengthens and it also widens. The back narrows and gets shorter. And then the opposite occurs as you lift the head and curl the tail towards your gaze. You're rounding the back like a hammock, but you're also lengthening the back, widening it. The front of the body narrows and shortens. So take it back again. We're going to feel that nice stretch from your jaw all the way to the tailbone. And exhale, use those muscles, jaw and tail to pull you up. They knit together to pull you into flexion. From flexion, lean back just a little bit, and then rotate to one side and then to the other. So we're going to tip the body, twist it, trying to keep the opposite hip rounded, and roll across the base of the shoulder blades as far as you can to get into your lat. Your latissimus dorsi is along the outer edge of your blade, while holding that tail heavy, the sacrum heavy. So really rotating more through the waist and the upper body. If you're on a denser roller, like in here, the darker rollers are more dense. If you feel like you need a little cushioning, you can always take the end of your mat over or switch out the roller. Either way. Right. It really depends how much pressure you want into the tissues here in your body as to which roller is going to work for you in certain exercises. And then we'll come back to center and let's roll up. So you can bring your hands to your legs, come on up, and we'll take the rollers across under your legs and then under your sacrum to do a little bit of hip release. So we can roll back, maybe arms forward, curl the tail up like we did earlier in that pelvic top. Bring your spine down with control to the mat. And then you can push the roller in, lift your hips at a bridge, and then take the roller across your sacrum here. All right, from this point, so the roller is basically at the widest part of your hips. Hold the roller, pull the elbows a little wide, and your hands keep a slight grab of the roller towards your waistline. Otherwise, it's going to slide away, and you'll have to keep readjusting it. So we pull up the right knee, exhale, pull up the left, press the legs together, and let your knees fall to the right as you turn your head to the left, lifting your left hip up. See how far you can go while keeping your shoulder blades on the ground. Exhale, let's push down with the arms to pull the knees up, and let's inhale, take the knees over to the other side. So now the knees to the left, the head turns to the right, you're pressing your right shoulder blade into the floor, and then exhale, press down in with your arms into the roller, massage the area across the sacrum as you bring your knees to the right again. We're getting a stretch here, but we're also thinking of working the body. Like when you press down with your hands into the roller, see if you feel that connection into the upper obliques, right under the chest. And when you go over, you can feel the weight of the legs pulling the body into this rotation and stretching muscles diagonally across the front and back of your body. So push down, engage into the armpit, into your core, and then coming over to the side. We're just going to exhale and come back to center here. And then lift both legs up to the ceiling. So stretch your legs up. Bring them back enough that you feel a little stretch in the hamstrings, right? With the hips elevated, even if you're tight there, you probably have the legs vertical or a little past vertical. If not, bend the knees and be sure that the feet are over the tailbone, over the pelvic floor. Go where it works for your body, and now soft point with the feet. We'll take the right leg back towards your chest and the left leg forward out into space, into a scissor split. Just enjoy that stretch for a second, then we'll inhale and switch the legs. Each leg tracks about 4 to 5 inches apart. Each one's in its own lane here, right? And go long with the legs, soft with the toes though. Don't overpoint the feet because then they'll want to crack, which no one wants, no one needs. Let's lift the legs. Imagine there's space between your toes so that air can flow through it. And then we'll switch again. So it's an inhale for one switch and an exhale for the next. Sweeping the legs here through the air, drawing an arc with each leg. They move at the same time in opposite directions with your breath. We'll end with the left leg back towards your chest wall and the right leg forward, and then bring both legs up towards the ceiling again. Externally rotate, which means the heels are together, the toes are apart. And ideally, the work happens from the upper thigh. So we're rotating the upper leg externally on the side. Now, leave the left leg where it is and take the right leg out to the side and down. Coming down that rainbow here from the apex down towards the floor, towards the ground. Exhale and pick it up. Move slowly, smoothly. Feel that work in the upper inner thigh to lift it. So the foot's going to move from more closer to your center. So let's take the left leg out and down. The outer upper thigh pulls the leg down. The upper inner thigh supports it. There's eccentric action of the muscle lengthening to bring it down with control. Exhale, push down into your arms. Pull that left leg up. Feel that connect you to the center of your body with the press of the arms into the roller. And now let's have the right leg go out and down again. It slides down the hill smooth as silk, and then exhale, coming up. The slower you do this, the more work you're going to feel. So take it down, take your time, work against gravity again, so you pay it out gradually until you feel a stretch that's healthy for your upper inner thigh. Push down with your arms, pull up. You exhale to lift the leg, and now go back into parallel. So here, right leg back, left leg forward in that scissor split. We're drawing a circle of the ceiling. The right leg goes to the right, the left one to the left, and circle the legs around. Each foot like a paintbrush, drawing a semicircle on the ceiling above us. Right, so you just rotate in one direction and then the other. Really stretching and working the muscles around your hips. And feel how that tugs and pulls on muscles that might be tight in your legs too. Meanwhile, you have to keep engaged with your arms. Slight drag, lift the hands back to hold the roller steady underneath you. If you forget, you can always lower the feet lift your hips and pull the roller back where it belongs. We'll come to the top, both legs lift up. Now bend your knees and exhale, lower the feet slowly to the ground. Roll through your feet to a ball heel, and then lift your hips up to take a roll out from the feet. Lower yourself gently to the mat and stretch the legs forward. And then the arms back to just feel difference in your body. More open, more relaxed, more aware. And then legs together, lift the arms up, weight in the shoulder blades, palms forward, lift the head, neck, shoulders, big exhale, coming up. You might have your hands along your legs or higher, depending how you come up here. Dive over your legs, maybe pulling the toes back, the heels forward. Get that stretch in the back of your legs and pull your waist back into the curve of your spine. So we're now going into a roll up. So we're going to stack the spine. You're lifting your back against the wall, bottom to top, arms parallel to the ground. You could lift them or lower them depending on where you are in control of your core and your spinal movement. So look down, curl the tail up. And then you roll past your sits bones onto your glutes. Keep lengthening out to the center of each leg. Lower the arms as you go down for more control. You want to go slowly, inch by inch. Imprint your waist down. You're still lifting the tail up the wall in front of you. When you get to the ribs, you flatten the tail down. You lower your rib cage, your shoulders, your neck, your head, and then stretch the arms back and behind you. If you need a little more assistance, you could have a TheraBand around both feet and hold the band with your hands so that you can come up with a little more assist. Sometimes two, particularly for men who have more weight in their shoulders, which makes this harder for them. We could have ankle weights here to help give you more support in the legs. Another thing that's helpful when you're learning this exercise and really working that articulation, if you take your feet to a wall or even to a piece of furniture, you can feel more connected into your center, and it helps you work through this super slowly. You all are looking great. Is everyone feeling that, like that work, like inch by inch, horizontally, like up and down the abdominal wall? So as we lift the arms, start to lift the head, neck, and shoulders, you'll start to feel the neck engage. But it's not all about the neck. You have to engage the abdominal wall inch by inch to pick the body up off the ground. And then you can dive forward, maybe even softening the knees a little bit if hamstrings are tight. So you can pull your waist back and get a lovely stretch here across the sacrum. And then we can step the spine up. And let's go down again one more time. We're going to end up in our upper arm curl. So we're going just to the base of the rib cage. And into like T10, T12. So the bottom of the ribs, the tip of the blades touch. Pull your knees into your chest for hundreds. So we're in this upper arm curl. And you can either press the legs together here with bent knees or extend the legs up or even a little bit out into space as we pump the arms, inhaling and exhaling. Like you widen your upper back by rolling the shoulders slightly internally. Even if you rotate the arms, so the thumb is a little bit lower than the pinky edge of your hand. That'll help you broaden the shoulder blades and have a little bit more support into that upper back. The leg position might change. If this is too much, pull the knees in. If it's not enough work for the lower abdominals, lower the legs down, but be careful that your back isn't arching. Right? We want to keep imprinting the waistline down to get that work into the abs and not feel the back at risk. You also can support your head with one hand and pump the other arm, switching arms. And think about now, let's just pull the knees in and rest your head down. Turn your head easy from side to side while pulling the knees into your chest in case you miscalculated the height of your legs. You always want to pay attention to the cues from your own body, saying this is safe, or I'm bored, this isn't enough, or now I'm afraid, this is too much. Pull it back in, right? Because your body changes every day, sometimes for the better, sometimes not, right? And you have to be responsible about taking care of it. So it's challenged the whole time, but not overwhelmed. So here we go. We're going to take the band around your right foot for single leg circles. So this will really help our hips open up, which is something we need after having a pretty sedentary society. And typically, especially with all this cold, a lot of us aren't getting the exercise we normally do. So we sit upright, And then we can really feel that you're on your sits bones. Practice having good posture and lifting the rib cage up away from the pelvic girdle. And now we look down and curl the tail up, rounding the low back. The waist pulls back, and then we're rolling the spine down again, pushing out through both feet. The band will stretch, pay it out if you need to, and curve your back into the ground with control, vertebra by vertebra, all the way down. Now we'll lift that right leg up to the ceiling. And again, if your hamstrings are tight, bend the knee a little bit. You still want to feel a stretch in the back of your thigh. If you are looser there, straighten the leg, and some people will bring the leg back further over their chest. Just depends on your structure right now. So elbows are grounded, slide the elbows towards your hips to get your shoulders away from your ears and have a nice relaxed neck. And then we'll just do a point flex of the foot here first. So reach up through the ball of the foot and then curl the toes a little bit up towards the ceiling without gripping them. So still some softness, some air between the toes. Curl the toes back and then reach the heel up. So we're rolling from one edge of the foot to the other, ball of the foot first. It's a high heeled shoe position. And then point the foot, point the toes, curl the toes back, and then lift the heel. Notice how that gives you a stretch in the calf. And one more time. Roll through the foot, heel, ball, toes, pull back toes, ball, heel. And as you reach up through the heel, try to drop down through your right sits bone to feel that stretch also in the hamstring. You can pull the leg back while the sits bones stay grounded. Now, soft point with the foot, we circle the leg. Inhale across the body without lifting the right hip. Go low with the leg. It rotates out to the right without lifting the left hip and all the way around to the top. So one breath per circle. We start with a short, deep inhale, maybe a quarter or a third of the distance, and an exhale all the way around, and the exhale lasts to the top of the movement. Get the stretch at the top, whatever that is for you. And again, reach. Push out long. The foot just goes slightly over the other leg. You spiral it into an external rotation here. Come back to neutral at the top. And again, if you're not feeling the abdominal contraction at the top of the movement, think of a shorter inhale and a longer exhale. Or slow the movement down. Right? So you want to feel that transverse abdominals really knit together as you're pushing the air out, out, out. So exhale, 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 exhale to the top. And the belly knits in its lowest point. The deepest transverse abdominal muscle is designed to help knit this together, to help our diaphragm lift and help push the air out of our lungs at the top, at the end of the breath. Now at the top, we pause and reverse. Actually rotate. As the right leg goes out, the left side gets heavier. Think of it sinking into the ground like it's falling into quicksand. You circle the leg around and over to the top. Hopefully everyone's like enjoying the stretch, right? Again, if you have to bend your knee at the top of the movement, you can still straighten as it goes low. But as you come around the curve and up to the top, maybe bend it so that you're not overstretching the back of the knee, but you are still getting that stretch in the back of the thigh. Keep circling that leg, pivoting here from the elbow. And let's do one more short inhale. Heavy on the left side as the leg goes to the right. Exhale around through center. Heavy on the right side as the leg comes up to the left. And at the top, we'll take the ends of the band in the right hand. Left hand on the left hip bone crest. Rotate the right leg externally. The elbow is down, and you pull that leg out to the side without tipping the body off the mat on the left. So keep that grounded, keep that heavy. So you feel some work in your abs, trying to rotate your body to the left against the weight of your leg moving right. Now rock the leg a little bit here on the socket. Small, smooth, very gentle. Again, it can be bent if your hamstrings need that. And then we'll exhale to pull the leg up from the upper inner thigh, like we did before in the splits. Come to the top, switch hands. Now the left hand holds the strap. You can stretch your right arm out perpendicular to your body, palm up. And then let's keep the right hip down as you start to take your right leg across the left. See how that gives you a stretch in the lateral thigh. And then as you continue to move the leg over, rotate the hip, rotate the pelvis. The left elbow can be grounded. You're still looking to the right. Now I'm looking at people here in the class. And you can reach the leg long. You can also have the knee bent. But now rotate the leg internally to increase the stretch. Double check that your right shoulder blade is still grounded to give you a lot of chest opening too. Yeah. So you adjust the stretch to where it feels really good for your body. And now we unwind it. So pull from your left shoulder to your waist and then down to the right glute. The hip goes to the mat to lift the leg up to the ceiling. Now we'll come back to center. Bring your hands up as high as you can on the bench towards your foot. And then let's do an upright curl. Lift your head, your neck, your shoulders, bend through the chest wall and come up. You can pull the elbows wide and down. So if you lift the upper shoulders and the upper body forward off the mat, look straight ahead, down your nose, and across the room out the windows. You can pull that leg back a little bit if you find you can. And then let's release down, roll from the shoulders to the neck and the head, soft landing, and pulling it into your chest. The band comes off, and we'll hug that right knee into the right chest. Hug it in here, reach out through the right sits bone. And now let's pull that right knee towards the right armpit. So just bring it a little to the outside of your rib cage. Still with the left side grounded. And then we pull the knee back aligned with the right chest. And release that one forward and down, stretch it out, shake it out. Feel the difference in the right and left side. It's not just the hip and the leg that feels longer, more relaxed, more awake. It's also the torso that's fallen a little bit into the ground on that right side. So by releasing tension in the hip and in the whole leg chain, we've also released tension in the right side of the body. So now we go to the left. So we pull the knee in and then place the band on the foot. The elbows walk forward towards your hips, towards the end of your mat. You lift the left leg, bend the knee as you need to. Try to have the foot right over the hip, right over the pelvic floor. And then you can straighten it or lower it, whatever you need to do. So your back is fine. And you get the stretch to the back of the leg. Now, point the foot, heel ball toe. So you pull the toes back. And then roll through the ankle, lift the heel. Go forward through the ball of the foot, and then the toes extend past the band. And then curl the back and lift the heel to get more stretch in the calf and increase the stretch in the hamstring. Heel ball toe again. Toe ball heel. And then up for a soft point. I will release the leg forward just a little bit so you feel like it's more congruent in the hip joint. Now we circle, we bring that left leg across to the right. Feel that stretch in the lateral leg and hip. And then bring the leg low. It's neutral at the bottom, toes point up, and then toes point out to the side in external rotation. Come all the way around to the top and that exhalation. So again, short inhale, press down for your left hip and the left, actually anything on the left side of the body pushes in until the leg starts to go left, at which point you should already be pressing down through the whole right side of your body into the floor. So we work here to move the leg as a challenge for the stability of the center of our body. So while the leg is moving, everything else is trying to stay motionless on the mat. And there has to be a feeling of a weight shift for that really to occur, right? You don't just lock the body down and try to freeze, but instead make it dynamic. So you're putting more weight in the left side as you reach your way to the right. And then you're going to put more weight in the right side even before you bring the leg out to the left. So even though it may not look like you're doing anything, there's a feeling of action and intelligence in the body that helps you maintain the stable center and the mobile leg. Let's do one more in this direction. Keep reaching out, reach long. Keep pulling back and down with the upper arms, with the elbows into the floor. We come around to the top and we'll reverse the circles. So rotate externally and the left leg moves to the left. The right side is grounded. It's pressing into the ground. And at the top, we start again. Short, deep inhale, long, long exhale. We feel that knitted together like an inner corset as the leg approaches the top and you're ready to take the next breath in. So we breathe through this. We're still focusing on the weight shift in the body and also the length and stretch of your leg into the strap. One more, notice how the strap encourages you to push out, but it also gives you more support as you do that. We come up to the top here, and let's take both ends of the band in your left hand. Right hand or right hip go press, the leg goes out to the side, and we rock the leg towards the shoulder and away. Slight breath, slight movement, deep breath. And really feel that you have to really keep rotating the right pelvic half down, away from the left leg, to keep the pelvis grounded here. Exhale, lift the leg up to the ceiling. And we'll take it across, right hand holds the strap. Bring it across the body now. Peeling the hip off the mat, keeping the shoulder blades grounded. You're looking to the left, your arm outstretched. And pull that left leg towards the right shoulder. And rotate internally, get more stretch there across the hip and the glute into the low back. Just feel the line of connection there. And then unwind, right shoulder to waist, left glute, leg in the air. Center yourself. Your gaze will be to the inside of the leg as you come up. So walk your hands high on the air band. And then lift your head, neck, and shoulders. Pull yourself up. Pull the hands back and the elbows a little wide. Feel that connection into your upper abs. And look down your nose, at your navel, and at the floor in front of you. Right, so the more you look down, the more forward the head and neck can go. And the more you'll feel that upper abdominal wall. Excellent. We're going to release out of it. And pull the knee into your chest. The band goes to the side. Hug the knee into your body, embrace it in. And then pull that knee towards the left armpit. While holding the right side grounded and heavy. Maybe reach out for your left sits bone to get a little feeling of more length in your left waistline. Perfect. And then let's pull the knee back to the left chest, embrace it in. And then after that compression, we find a release. We stretch the leg forward directly in front of the socket. When both legs are out there, just shake them a little bit, wag them side to side, and then relax them down. Hopefully, both legs the same length. They feel relaxed. If you take your hands to hip bone press, they should be out on a slight diagonal, up and out. And then let's bring the knees and the toes to point straight up. Pull your right knee into your chest, hold on to your shin, or easier, the back of your thigh. And we'll lift the left leg up, elbows wide, we roll up. Lift your head, neck, and shoulders, rock forward and up, using your breath and your core to bring your upper. We're rolling like a ball. So here we're at the front third of the mat. If you haven't done this before, or if it's still new, you can take your hands behind your thighs. This is also helpful for people with knee issues that they don't want to compress the knee joint. Otherwise, hands move to your shins. From here, we can start sitting upright. So find your sits bone, really sit elevated here. You get up through your heart, up through your halo. But now we're going to look down your nose, curl the tail up towards your gaze, pull the waist back. We're trying to make ourselves a ball, or like someone curved up inside a big bubble, right? Like a nice iridescent bubble that a child would blow, right? So bubble. So elbows wide and forward, coming into the curve of the bubble, pick up your feet. Now you want to keep your gaze down at your navel as we roll. We're only going to roll to the tip of the blades, then reverse and come up. So lift the tail to shift your weight. Keep looking down, pull your shoulder blades, exhale, come up to where you started. Good, right? And here's where it's important to have enough padding underneath us, right? Everyone good? Yep. So edges of the feet pressed together, elbows wide, connect by pushing your hands back into your shins and your shins out into your hands. So you really feel that work into your arms and into your abs. And we roll. Lift the tail, go back. Exhale and take them forward. So you roll as soon as you hit the tip of the blade, start your exhale. So inhale back, exhale now, and you're still in that deep exhale and come right back up. You guys look good. Couple more. I'm going to admire this. So take it back here, nice and smooth. Your back as round as possible. That's why you keep your gaze down. If you were, I'm not suggesting you do this, but if you were to look up or straight ahead, even when you're rolling, your back would flatten. Instead of being rounded, it would flatten, and then you would land like a plank and you'd be stuck there. And it wouldn't feel good in your body either. This is a nice massage for your spine, as long as you have enough padding. Great. All right, from here into the ab series. So there's a series of 5. We'll probably only do 2 or 3 today and then move on to something else. But here we'll take the right hand to the right ankle and then the left hand under the right knee. Rock back onto your glutes, tail lifts up, and you can push the leg into the hands and vice versa. The left leg reaches up and floats off the ground as you slowly roll back to your upper curl and pull that knee in as tight as you can. Knee issue, you would hold your hand on the thigh, on the hamstring, so you don't compress the knee. But here we go. We're going to inhale and switch the legs. The outside hand always goes to the ankle. So the left hand to the left ankle. As the left leg pulls in, the right hand to the right ankle as the right leg pulls in. Use the hands to help you pull up and forward with your chest and try to hold that sensation of a lift from your core, from your abdominal wall as you release your hands and reach for the other leg. When you have it, reconnect and feel that work into the armpits to help you engage the upper abs. There's a connection from your hand to your tricep, to your lat, to your serratus, to your external oblique that creates this sort of a loop that helps us hold the position and work the abs more than we're working our necks. One more set. The legs shoot straight out of the socket and we pull it straight into the chest. Pull both knees in, lay your head down, and turn your head gently side to side. We rock forward again. The second in the series is a double leg stretch. So let's take the left knee into your chest, the right leg up to the ceiling. Lift your head, neck, shoulders, elbows wide, rock forward, come up, soft landing, and we're doing one hand to each of the shins once we get down there. So we're going to start arms forward, curl the tail up, round the low back down. We have to imprint the lumbar curve into the mat to keep curling the tail up. Give your hands to your legs, go down with control to your upper ab curl, and then pull both knees in. Keep looking at your belly. Squeeze the legs together like a unileg, and take your elbows wide, your hands push into the shins. We'll extend the arms and legs, fingers and toes to the ceiling. Circle the arms wide, snowy toe arms as you embrace the knees into your chest. And do it again. Reach, and then embrace. Now use your arms to help pull yourself a little higher, deeper into the upper ab curl. Then we stretch it up. You can also start taking the arms and legs a little further away from each other, so more like a hammock shape, but only if you maintain the upper ab curl and you're not falling flat with your upper back and your head towards the floor. So reach again and embrace it in. Try to look down at your belly and not up at your feet. And now we rest. And turn side to side. As you advance into your practice, all of these happen one after the other with flow so that you don't really rest in between the exercises. But initially we do. And some days we just do anyway. So now let's roll forward again. So you can just pull both legs in if you want, hold on to the back of your thighs, lift your head, neck, and shoulders, and rock forward, letting the legs extend. And if you want to balance here on your sacrum, you can do a little teaser pose, a preview of things to come. You'll straighten the legs. Again, tight hamstrings and knees might be a little bent, but try to hold them up and balance sort of on the sacrum here. And then just bring the arms up. Nice. Switch the legs if you can. And then bend your knees, lower down. We're rolling back for scissors. So we did this on the roller previously. We're going to now do it with the upper ab curl. So arms forward, curl the tail up, roll back. Imprint your spine slowly, hands can go down. Lower for more control. You want to feel that you're working every inch of your abs. And here, pull the knees into your chest. We'll extend the right leg up, the left leg forward down. Pull yourself up. You can use your arms, you can use your abs. hopefully you're doing both. And then pull that right leg towards your shoulder, try to lift your head and chest to the inside of your thigh. And now we switch the legs while we stay up in the air with the upper body, and both hands come as high up on the leg as possible. And switch again. The legs will be straight, straightish, or bent. You know, as long as you feel the stretch in the hamstring and you're in the upper curl, you've accomplished the mission. So one leg goes forward, the other leg pulls back. Use your arms. Feel that work in your arms, a little bend to the elbows. See if you can feel those triceps engaged, the biceps engaged as you're working here. As before, it's an inhale for one leg to lift and the other to lower, and then an exhale to reverse them. We're just going to one more time. Keep lifting the head actively, look down your nose, keep your gaze low. As soon as you look up towards the ceiling, your neck's going to feel it instead of your abs. All right, so bring your hands behind your head, lay down and fold your knees into your chest and just hug the knees in here. Rock a little bit side to side. Y'all did great. And so here we're rolling up again. So if any of the earlier versions, one knee in, the other leg up, both knees in, hands to your thighs, or just extend the legs and lower. So it comes up. And open the legs here for spine stretch. If your hamstrings are tight or your low back, and you find it difficult to sit vertically with like an indent at your waistline here, you may want to elevate yourself up on the yoga mat. So otherwise you can sit with the knees a little bent and be sure you're right on your sits bones like so. Now, extend the arms forward parallel to the ground. Spine stretch, reimagine peeling the spine off a wall from the top to the tailbone. So you look down your nose, the chin comes in towards the base of your throat, and then the back of the skull goes out, over, and down in an arc, diving your forehead down towards the space between your knees. So in that direction, we're not saying you're going to get there. That would be very Cirque du Soleil-ish, right? So fantastic if that's your body, not good if it's not, right? And then we press through the heels of the sits bones and zip your back up the imaginary wall, coming all the way up here, vertebra by vertebra, one after the other. And let's do that again. So look down. Now, as you go forward with the back of the skull, feel your neck pull, but your shoulders stay back. Then the neck starts to move the upper back, the mid back, the low back, and you suck your waist back. The tail curves up, so you really feel that rounding into the area by your sacrum. We want to get a stretch here, where people are often tense and tight. Try to open that up, so walking will be more of a pleasure, and then we can come all the way upright to lift. And the head floats free at the top, the shoulders melt down, and one more. Look down. And exhale all the way out, over and down. And then inhale, you come up like a wave, pulling up and back into the ocean. Your head floats free here. And let's just lower the arms down. All right. So here, like to go into our clams. So we're going to lay on our side and prop yourself up on your forearm. So you're always welcome to, you can change your mat if you want to see what's going on, or look at another person in the class, right? Or me, whatever works for you. So the soles of your feet should be even with your sacrum, with your shoulders, with the back of your head. And if this bothers your neck, you are welcome to take your arm down and lay your head down. So ideally, you would have like a folded towel or something here, so your neck would be parallel to the ground instead of straight down. So at this point, we'll take your top hand and press it into the ground by your chest. And as you push down, see how you engage the muscles in your rib cage, right? And it may also help you like lift your waistline a little bit. So you're not like collapsing your waist into the floor, but you have a little reach out through the hip. So there's a slight feeling of lift at your waist. Now, take your top hand, and we're going to take it, the edge of the hand into the crease between leg and pelvic girdle. And then if you point your index finger and you're about 2 to 2.5 inches from the pubic symphysis, the center of the two pubic bones in the front, point in about 2 inches in, that's where your hip socket is, right? So we want to move the leg from that point and not from the hip, right? So a lot of times we're doing just a rotation of the leg to pull the knee up and to bring it down. What you'll see a lot of times what happens is people don't move from this joint, they move from their spine, and they'll end up taking their hips back. So then they're more on a diagonal instead of the whole torso facing the wall. So that doesn't actually help the hip open so much. It gives you more rotation in the spine. But here we're focused on the hip. So keep your hips square, like you're up against a wall. You can even practice this against a wall. And rotate the leg from the hip socket here at the crease, and then bring the leg back down. So we inhale, lift it. And if you work from there, you're going to feel the glute medius here on the lateral hip, right? So that's important that we work this muscle and not the muscles in the center during spinal rotation to lift the leg. You might find that it doesn't go as high up as maybe you did if you were used to rotating back, right? Because then it can take it really high up. But we don't want to roll onto the back of the ribs. We want to stay on your side seam. Inhale to lift, exhale to close. You could also check this by taking your hands to your hip bone and be sure that the pelvic half isn't moving while you're lifting the leg, isn't falling back. Great. Now we're going to pull the knee up, extend the leg out, soft point, bend the knee, the edges of the feet should go right back together, and then we close the knees down. So goal is keep the pelvis stacked, rotate the leg here. Now we're not going to pull the knee up or down. We're going to keep the thigh exactly where it is as you just straighten the knee. Then when you bend it, the feet go back together on their edges, like forming the, I guess, what is it? The hinge on a bivalve, right? And let's pull the knee up again, extend the leg, bend the knee, close it down, and we'll do it once more. So lift the knee, rotating at the socket, extend the leg, working at the knee joint. Bend the knee, again, working the knee joint, and then now working back at the hip. Excellent. Now, as we press the hand into the mat, let that help you keep your body stable. We're going to pick up the leg from the socket and then bring it down. So you lift here. This is all lateral hip, and bring it down. The knee goes up. The knee goes down. So if you think about like this femur, this long bone of your thigh here, as one end lifts, the other lowers. It's a bit like a seesaw. So kind of picture the end of this bone like dropping down and towards the ground, deep into the socket, again, without rotating the pelvis back. So don't worry about how high the leg goes. Think about the sensation you're getting here and the integrity of the movement in the joint. So we lift and lower. It will get a little tiring when you're working the right muscle. Yeah. One more time. Okay. And then we're coming up, or you can just go to the other side. I'm going to spin so I can still see you and also check myself in the screen. Be sure I'm doing what I'm asking you all to do. All right, so we're going to lay on the side seam here. And, you know, if it's not comfortable laying on this, because you may have like a slightly, might have slightly different positions for the two pelvic halves. You can always get like another pad to go underneath you. When you do this at home, usually our mats are like on top of a rug or a beach towel or something for a little extra padding, unless you have the really thick Pilates mats. All right, so again, let's feel that connection. So slide your hand between the leg and the pelvic girdle here. It's like a deep crease here. And then your index finger is going about 2.5 inches from the pubic symphysis, which is just like a little disc here between the two bones, the center of the front of the pelvis. Now, we're going to rotate that leg externally to lift the knee up and pull it down, again, without rocking the pelvis back. and shifting weight into the back of your body, we want to stay on your sideline. So we rotate here and then pull the knee down. So we start at the edges of the feet, stay together. That angle changes as you lift the knee with a rotation from the hip, and then bring the knee back down, close the knees together. So rotate it up, spiral it down. Once you have the sensation, once you have the movement, and you're positive that you're not rotating the spine, when you do this, you're rotating the leg on the hip socket. You could take both hands behind your head and try to pull the neck long away from your tailbone. And that will give you just a little bit more of a balance challenge, which is something we also do when we go into the regular side kick series in Pilates as you advance. All right, so now we'll pick up the knee, extend the knee, straightening the leg, bend the knee, getting the edges of your feet back together. They land perfectly in position, and then lower down. So this helps us really refine our sense of where our body is in space. So we're improving our proprioceptive sense when we do an exercise like this. Can you stay stacked on your sideline? Can you also extend part of your body away and then bring it back to where it was without looking at it? And close. So again, we're going to inhale, rotate the leg on the socket, lift the knee, open the clamshell, extend the leg, bend at the knee, bring the edges of your feet together, close them down. We'll just do one more here. Getting that work into the glute, and especially the lateral part of it, part here at the top. Now, we sometimes call this fire hydrant. So we pick the knee up and lower it down. So it's pretty pure abduction, moving that thigh away from the other leg, away from the floor. Lift that knee. Bring it back down, the knee stays bent. And again, we're trying to bring it down on top of the other leg, just where it was when we picked it up. Again, here there'll be a tendency to roll back with the pelvis to bring the leg higher, resist that. Okay. And then just laying it back for a second. Let's take your roller across under your neck. And with your knees bent, take your feet almost as wide or as wide as your mat, and with the knees knock into each other. If you lift your head, you want to be aligned. Nose, sternum, navel, pubic symphysis, knee. And then close your eyes, fold your hands to hold the ends of the roller, and slowly turn your head from one side to the other, giving yourself a nice massage here in the neck and along the base of the skull. You can change the angle of your face, right, by either dropping your chin a little closer to your chest and going side to side, or by lifting your gaze up and back slightly and going here. All these will massage different parts of your neck and your skull. Nice and slow, let that fall to one side. Lift it, let it fall to the other side. Shoulder blades are heavy. And you can come center and draw small circles with your nose. And then reverse the circles, giving yourself that little massage into the occipital ridge here. Right. And then whenever you're ready, you can pause the movement and open your eyes. We're good for today. You can stay there for a little bit. I still have to pick up some of the stuff in the room. So, but relax for a second. Really good job, everyone. And I hope to set you up for a great afternoon.